RMAs are the ultimate test of customer service, and I've had good and bad experiences. I'm going to share a couple of those experiences with you guys, and I want to hear from you guys, regardless of what country you're in, of course, of your RMA experiences. When I mean RMA, like when you send the product back to the manufacturer, not the retailer. Now, if you've had issues with retailers, I want to hear that too. But I'm not going to be able to relate. All online retailers, of course, not like, oh, I went to Best Buy or Walmart or I don't really care about that. We all know we can all walk into a store and whatnot. But having to wait 4 weeks, or whatever. Okay, and some minor updates too. Okay, well, first off, I've downclocked my 8800 GT. I only have one installed right now, and I've got that down to 500 and 800, and I'm running at 141 Fahrenheit or 62 Celsius. Still, that's warm, and that's something I would expect on like a moderate or high load, but it's a single slot cooler, but I've got the extra slots if I need them. That was my main issue here, because I'm not going to be getting a new motherboard or anything anytime soon. So anyway, also, you guys might be curious about my Gigabyte Odin GT. When I unplug and plug the USB, when XP makes the USB plugged in, plugged out sound. I've looked for like a good 10 minutes, even going to Google and typing in site : gigabyte.com-tw or whatever, 888 and 800 for their tech support number. I can't find it. So what I usually do is I add on my cell phone, which I'm gonna just it's another issue. Oh man, all these issues. And I'm afflicted by them. It's not that I'm bringing up these issues, it's that these companies don't want to deal with these issues. I can't find Gigabyte's contact number. I can't call their technical support. I have no clue how to do it. I emailed them 2 days ago. What happened? Gigabyte was a great company because I did an RMA with them before. Actually, it was at my fault, so I can't really say it's a true test of it. But they're friendly. Any company's tech support can be friendly. If you've got a bad product, a bad board, a bad video card, a bad hard drive, and you send it in, and do you get a replacement? Do you get a new replacement? How far are they willing to help you out there? That's the issue that I'm asking, and I'll go over that in a second. Another issue, Sprint. I called them out. I said, cancel my cell phone. I'm between jobs. I can't afford this stuff. And they refused to send me a new free phone. Fine, I'm just going to cancel you. And guess what? I looked online my bank statement. They charged me for December. So now I got to call them up and demand them to put my money back in. And when I tried Verizon Files, I couldn't run Apache server, so my buddy in Kentucky could access my IP as a website. And I didn't get my money back. 100% money back guaranteed. I didn't get all my money back. I got most of my money. I didn't really complain because I'm not going to call up about 50 cents. But, I mean, companies will really jerk you around. And we need to stand up. We need to say, hey, we're not going to put up this stuff. So, Gigabyte. I'm going to talk about Asus and ATI. I'm going to share... I want to end it on a high note with the RMAs, so I'm going to talk about Asus. Now, Asus, I really have a seething hatred of Asus, and when you hear this, you're going to understand why I don't like Asus. So I had the high-end N-Force 4 16X SLI chipset for the socket 939. It's the exact same chipset I have on the EVGA motherboard I have right now. That chipset, the only real difference between that and the regular SLI chipset is when you do SLI, both cards are in 16X, have the full 16 lanes when you're gaming in SLI, versus if you don't have that explicit chipset on 939, you're in SLI, both cards are going to be running at 8X. That's AGP. That's the exact same thing as AGP. Okay, so and I think there's like 2 chipsets on AM2 that support it, like 570 and 590. I think. Don't hold me to it. So anyway, I had that wonderful motherboard. It was the only thing I could say that I liked about feature-wise over this board I had a 4X PCI Express slot versus I have 2 1X on here. So whatever, okay. But I called their tech support. We went through. I mean, we talked for days. The issue was I couldn't get RAID enabled and having USB, so XP wouldn't recognize RAID and USB at the same time. Well, I need RAID so I can make sure my data's backed up. I do websites, I have clients, I have to make sure if I have a physical hard drive failure, okay, not XP, failing, but that's the reason why I keep all my work on the D drive. So if XP hoses itself, and if I can't really get in there or whatever, it's on a different drive, okay? But my RAID 1, if either drive physically dies, boom, I still have all my data. Of course, I back all my stuff up to an external USB drive. It's a 16 gig Corsair. I'm not worried about speed. Yes, I know there's no speedy GT 16 gig, whatever. Fine. I'm not here for speed. I'm more about reliability. So, ASUS, I did an RMA. And I got a motherboard back, and PCB, I think it's the PCB. Okay, I could be wrong on the abbreviation. I'm not a complete genius here. The corner of the border is physically bent. It worked, all right, but it was a used motherboard to replace a new motherboard. Okay, why? Same problem, and I RMA'd that and added. I told their tech support, hey, I know it's not you guys, okay, because tech support is separate from RMA department. That's what I'm thinking, or at least that's what I'm trying to portray. So I'm not saying, hey, you're the dick. I'm not trying to say that to the guys who might be handling my RMA, and I wouldn't even say that to the RMAs. But I might as well, because the third board I had, which was the second board they RMA'd to me, had not only had the same problem, but looked like it was covered with dried sperm on the North Bridge. Is that the treatment I should expect from buying a really expensive, the highest end motherboard they had at the time? Hell no! And I will never buy from ASUS again. Newegg. I really haven't done any. I think I've done a couple returns, and I've had no problems. Monarch. I ordered a 3500 AMD. I ordered the 90 nanometer process. They sent me the 130 nanometer process. Okay, now clock speeds, higher clock speeds are better. Larger nanometer process measurement, not better, because you want it smaller. Uses less electricity, better overclocking, whatever. So they sent me the old CPU. I mean, it overclocks fine, but I was pissed. I didn't RMA it because really, I mean, the FSB overclock was really the only thing I was really interested in doing, because I was in college, card payments and all that other stuff, and so I wasn't going to complain because I wasn't going to do voltage overclocking. I still don't do it, but now that I've read, I've done a lot of reading, I'm willing to toy around with it. Yeah, so ATI, I RMA'd on that. I had an ATI All-in-Wonder 9700 Pro. Great cards while they were on AGP. TV tuners, I stopped watching TV because honestly it's a bunch of garbage. YouTube, mostly different. Depends on, because you can actually look up and watch what you want. And the fan died. So I made that, they sent it back. I got a whole brand new card. It didn't look used, had new Sir and all that. Okay, you want to send me a whole new card, that's fine. You could only fix the fan, but fine. Fan died a second time. I just decided to get a stock cooler. I got a 2-slot cooler because, dude, it was PCI, 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 PCI. I wasn't really that worried. So, anyway, I'm coming roughly up on my 10-minute limit. I really would like video responses on the RMA that you guys have encountered. But your replies to the video are fine too. Let me know. I mean, this is an issue. It's an ongoing issue. I got to deal with Sprint now. I got to deal with Gigabyte. I mean, and I can't do the reviews I want because I can't measure the watts. I can't measure the amperage. I don't know what's going on with my power supply anymore. I'm reasonably feel sound with it over the last one, but but I will get I won't post this until I have a video game footage that I can post immediately after, so that one appears first on the channel. So anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys soon.